Welcome to Module 3. Upon completion of this module, the learner will be familiar with the student field practicum process, including the importance of the field practicum fair. The learner will also be able to identify and correctly use field practicum forms. Before we discuss specific forms, let's review the timeline of the field practicum process. As our timeline shows, the field practicum experience begins with the preparation process for the agency, the field practicum supervisor, and the student. The agency profile provides the field practicum office an understanding of the agency and what type of work experience students will gain. In addition to demographics, type of student accepted, and program availability for students, the School of Social Work asks agencies to complete a checklist of tasks available to students at the BSSW, MSW Generalist Foundation level, and the MSW Advanced Generalist level. The Field Practicum Office asks agencies to inform us of any changes in their programs. These updates allow us to accurately describe potential field practicum sites to our students and on the social work website. The agency profile can be found under the Prospective Agencies drop-down tab on our Field Practicum website page. The Field Practicum Supervisor application should be filled out by the Educational Supervisor and any task supervisors who work directly with a student. Information required on the application includes demographics, licenses and certificates held, education, work and supervisory experience, and personal references. Permission of the applicant's supervisor is also required. The individual applying to be a field practicum supervisor must have their supervisor sign the form indicating that they agree to the applicant supervising students at their agency. Supervision takes time away from the applicant's daily work, and we at the School of Social Work want to make sure that the agency is aware of this fact. The Field Practicum Supervisor application can be found under the Supervisors drop-down tab on our Field Practicum website page. Students must begin the field practicum preparation process during the fall or spring semester prior to starting their field practicum. Students initiate this process by identifying when they plan to start their field placement. Students are then enrolled into the online field practicum orientation, Passport to Practicum. Through this orientation, students receive information and forms on how to secure and successfully complete a field practicum placement. The virtual field practicum fair is similar to a job fair and gives students an opportunity to learn about potential agencies in our community who are open to hosting a student. Agency representatives informally speak with potential students about specific activities they may be able to do at the field practicum site. It is also a great networking opportunity for all involved. Field practicum placements are not set up during the fair, but rather it is a time for students to gather information about agencies and discuss with the Field Practicum Office during the advisement process. The virtual Field Practicum Fair is normally held twice a year in February and September. Notification of the fair is emailed to agencies in August for the fall fair and in January for the spring fair. Upon completion of your registration, you will receive information regarding setting up your own personal Zoom link or other platform link that students will be able to click on and meet virtually with agency representatives. We encourage agency representatives to send any flyers to the Field Practicum Office regarding potential opportunities and experiences a student might have at your agency. All students will have access to agency information prior to the virtual Field Practicum Fair. After the virtual Field Practicum Fair, each student attends a Field Practicum Advisement session with a member of the Field Practicum Office. Students discuss with their Field Practicum Advisor agencies they spoke with at the fair or agencies they are interested in, as well as populations the student is hoping to work with. During the advisement session, a student identifies approximately 6 to 8 possible agencies of interest. A cover letter and resume are sent to their top 2 agency choices. Students are then asked to follow up with the agency contact to see about setting up an interview. Occasionally, a student will contact an agency only to discover the agency is not accepting students for that semester. When this happens, we move down the student's list of possible sites. Once the student makes contact with the agency and an interview is set up, we ask the student and agency to treat this step as a normal interview process, as you would for any other employment position. If all goes well during the interview and you feel the student would be a good match with your agency, an offer can be made to the student. The student will then ask you to sign the Field Practicum Agreement form. If your agency plans to interview several students and then make a decision regarding placements, please let the student know of the time frame you hope to make that decision. This Field Practicum Agreement form is the contract between the agency and the Field Practicum office regarding the student's placement. No student may begin their Field Practicum placement until we have the Field Practicum Agreement form. It is the student's responsibility to make sure the Field Practicum office has the form on file. Once the form is on file, the student is free to begin their placement on the agreed-upon start date.